And we are back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SC2L. If you are just now joining us, you have missed the first match. Massive from Team Root did take out Snoot from Team Liquid for a 1-0 score, but of course this is a best of 6 with the potential for an ace match, so which is like the weirdest way to say that. You're right.
Don't you dare. It's a best of 7, damn it. It's
Sean, you're right. As I was saying that, I felt like I was probing an anal inappropriately, and
well, the next match is going to be Kane versus Liquid. Notice how seamlessly
probing an alien, please. That's what I meant to say.
Dude, I totally did. No, that was what we call a caster misclick. Sometimes things come out of your mouth, and what we do is we don't focus on it. What we don't do, Jeff, is say anything that would draw any additional attention to that mistake. And it looks like the countdown has begun. It's going to be Kane versus Hero.
Yeah, we are underway. And this is a dual broadcast. We're not only bringing you matches, but we're bringing Sean teaches Jeff how not to screw things up too terribly, which I do appreciate, actually. I really do. Anyways, about the games here. So let's just go ahead and introduce the players, and let's talk a little bit about this matchup because I'm super excited about it. Sean, who do we got playing?
Spawning up in the top left-hand corner is rapidly becoming known as one of the best Zerg players in America. From Root Gaming, it is Kane.
And his opponent from Team Liquid, hailing from Korea, it is Liquid Hero.
Looks like we're going to find out an answer to a question that I was literally about to ask you, if he was actually still in Korea.
You're right.
And
today.
Yes, he's arriving today.
Nailed it.
Hero, one of the things that he's talked quite a bit about is how he's trying to deal with jet lag with all his travels all over the place.
Yeah.
So
he's got a little bit of the MC syndrome a little bit. He's become the guy from Team Liquid, so that means he's going to go ahead and travel the world, and that can get a little bit hard too.
Yep. It looks like Hero is going to be going for the Pylon Gateway in main. So, I mean, I'm really liking this build in PvZ. I mean, what are your thoughts on it as a Protoss player? I know that the norm has always been the early expand, but I really personally love going Gate in main base.
Well, it's become really popular recently because while you are going to expand ever so slightly later, the potential for aggression is through the roof. If you scout out like a really bold 3-hatch despite your opener, you can actually just throw down 3 gateways before or even after the Nexus and put a lot of pressure on that. Some players are taking double gases and going for a fairly quick Stargate, again challenging that third base under the aid of Zealots getting warped in off of 3 or 4 gateways. It just gives the Protoss a little bit more say in the early game, whereas with the Nexus first or Forge Fast expansion, yes, you do have the slightly faster Nexus, but you're basically saying you are safe for the first 7 minutes or so. After that, I will then have a presence on the map outside of a cannon rush.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really curious to see if Kane will be adjusting for that sort of thing, because we see players actually delaying when they take that third base, or if they do, they add on 2 or 3 sets of lings instead of just 1, so that way they can actually scout out for all those proxies. Because, you know, like what you're talking about, the 3 warp gate pressure, it's not just 3 warp gates, warp in as fast as you can, boom, go.
Yeah.
It's instead, you know, you warp in 3, and then you wait a little bit, and then you warp in another 3 and go for it. So around 7 minutes, suddenly the Zerg, who has only just begun making a Roach Warren, dies.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. And Sean, to make this a little bit more interesting, we do have that Nexus going down, but keep in mind, there is only 1 gas being mined from this Protoss player. So while nothing came off that gateway, we have the Warp Gate upgrade going first, and then the Mothership Core. So that, in my opinion, is a little bit more of an aggressive stance. You're not going to see a whole lot of tech off of a 1-gas opening like that. We should see 3 gateways go down, and a 4-gate should be incoming, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing that probe go out, and it's going out very notably to arrive just before 5 minutes. And that's just going to say, okay, are you doing a fast 3-hatch timing, or did you take gas? And once he gets there and sees nothing, he's going to know that gas is going down. Hero, there's gateway number 1, gateway number 2. Very safe play on Belshir Vestige, because God, is that front, like, so open.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And Sean, to your point, you actually nailed it. He's scouting for the third, and without this third being here, the assertion is that there is gas being mined, which of course means the potential for speed links, and that's exactly what we do see here. So that's almost in sync exactly with the second gas being taken by Hero. And I feel like with this tech coming down, a Twilight Council, which should surely be a Dark Shrine, but we'll see. I feel like Hero is making the read that you just proclaimed, where he's basically saying, all right, I was going to go 4-gate if you did try to take a fast third, but since you didn't and you're playing safe, like my build calls for, I'm going to go ahead and tech safely as well.
Yeah, it's such kind of like a weird dance in this matchup, you know, where it's like, okay, I see you doing nothing, so suddenly I like tech, and you know, to the average eye, it's like, okay, why did he chrono boost out Warp Gate research, build 4 gateways, and then go Dark Templar and do nothing with the Warp Gates? It's kind of funky. You know, that pylon gets spotted by Kane, so Kane's playing pretty well, but kind of funky timings coming out from Hero, all based on that weird third time.
I gotta say, this pylon is so bold. Of course, the Stalker's here to try and buy some time for that pylon, but with speed incoming, and Hero has to know that, he's in danger of losing that Stalker. But you can see yet another forward pylon going down. I feel like he wants to apply pressure, then warp in DTs.
Oh, I think that's exactly what he's going to do. I mean, look at this Overlord from Kane, though. I mean, it can spot that there's no gas at the natural expansion.
Oh, wow. You're absolutely right. So that means he has to know that there's a... Oh, okay, so Kane actually knows that there's gateway units incoming, and he sees that now with the warp, and Zealots are here. And right now there are Speedlings, but these Speedlings against Zealots are not a great matchup for the Zerg.
Wow, yeah. Do they have +1? No. In fact, there's no Forge even down anywhere. Hero's actually just buying time. He's going to sit here and guard this pylon, and it looks to Kane like he needs to build a lot more lanes. He needs to get prepared, but in reality, he needs to get detection. I don't think there's any way he's going to have detection done in time. Kane's going to try to surround. Oh no, the Zealot warp, and that's a really bad timing for the Zealot warp, and he's not going to be able to get the Dark Templar up. And it looks like Kane is going to get to buy himself a little bit more time to get his layer up, but I think Kane is just going to be sacrificing this expansion.
Well, back at home, there is 4 Chrono Boosts going down on the gateways, so basically what he's saying is, I feel like because of the lack of lings here, I should apply a little bit more pressure on that hatchery, but now the gig's up, day 9, these DTs have been warped in, they take a swipe at the hatchery, alerting Kane to their presence, and immediately we see Spore Crawlers going down and Roaches coming out.
Wow, 3 DTs to push the Queens back. Zealots clean it up. Heroes playing amazingly. Kane, though, holding on strong. 38 workers to 38. Things are fairly even. Geysers only just now going on for Liquid Hero. It looks like Kane is desperate to try to make sure that doesn't die.
It's so low! It's so low! He's going to give up on it, and a Transfuse does go down, so he is going to actually safely secure that Spore Crawler. Meanwhile, double Overseers coming out just in case one trips, falls, and implodes on the ground. Just so there is some detection. Queen does go down inside the main, and this Dark Templar is racking up the kills, approaching 10 kills just now.
Wow, I mean, this is kind of a weird game. Generally, we would say that Hero does have the advantage right now, but there's really been no other game from Hero other than killing off that third. It's not like there's a Forge going down, so he's going to be way ahead in upgrades. I mean, he's only just now started his Forge.
Yeah. Actually, to your point, he's only killed 4 drones, so despite all that chaos, I thought Kane did a pretty good job of mitigating the damage.
Very nice answer from Kane. Looks like the big edge that Hero has picked up is worker count. It is 47 to 43. I mean, even though he didn't kill him off directly, it looks like kept Kane building the non-drone units for long enough.
Yeah. I mean, one thing to talk about, because you are actually right, Kane's not so far behind that we just start writing off this game. I mean, if you look back at home, Hero, because of that lack of 3rd and 4th gas, he really only has 3 sentries, a couple of Zealots, and just now the Robotech. So Dark Templar are not your mid-game main composition units. You really don't go that way.
Dude, unless
that would be
awesome.
weird.
You are a kick-ass person if you're just going to go DT as a main composition. Yeah, DT Sentry, it's great. The Sentries trap them. And then even if they have detection...
Fun day Monday.
You have DTs, so no oh, dude.
Do
that's
it.
A good point.
Could happen. We do have Blink coming out in terms of upgrades, so the follow-up is definitely going to be Blink. That's something that Hero is very accustomed to. I would say Korean Protoss are very accustomed to it. Only recently does Stardust really start to show what Charge can do in the earlier stages of a PvZ. But Hero, do you think he goes with the 2 base all in, or is he just using this to secure a 3rd? Nope.
Looks like he wants to get a 3rd. There's a probe that just began to move out. Mothership Core locking down the vision. Kane, though, is in a tough spot. I mean, how do you pull out of this as Kane? Well, he's going to do what every Zerg player does, and he's like, well, I'm Mutalisks.
Yep. I think that's a really good choice. I mean, he's just now getting a 3rd base, so his economy's not great. I would actually say it's quite terrible for Zerg. They like to have a healthy 1 base advantage on a Protoss, so he's been spending a lot of time on equal footing economically, even as you said earlier, down in Harvesters. But the thing about Mutalisk is they have the potential just to create chaos. Like, yeah, you have Blink Stalkers, and actually, as I said, I'm going to cut myself off. Hero's moving out right now, which I think is a superb timing for this.
Yeah, this is such a good time. You know, I was kind of being a little jokey about the Mutalisks as a response, but if you think about it, Zerg has been mining on 3 to 4 gas this whole time.
Yeah.
Hero's been mining on 2 for ages. He does not have that much gas. I mean, if you look at the army value,
yep,
Hero has 1,000, but there's a lot more banked up for Kane. Kane already has those 6 gases up. So if Kane can get those Mutalisks out and begin wreaking havoc, oh my god, he's going for the counterattack. This is such a good play by Kane.
It really is. It's his only... I mean, it seems like it's the only option, but you'd be surprised how many Zergs would just be like, oh no, something is attacking me, I must attack it. But Hero is such a savvy player, he actually peels off 4 of his own Stalkers and says, you're going to go cause some chaos. Just 4 Stalkers, so bold play.
Really nice. How much damage have these Stalkers done? Oh, Stalkers see the Mutalisk, just like he's brought the workers killed count. He's killed 6, 7 workers now. Blinks to the back to try to delay as much as possible. And this is a smart move from Hero, because Hero knows, oh my god, Mutalisks are out. Now Hero's going to try to buy as much time by moving his whole army forward to try to delay as much as possible. That 3rd expansion is down for Hero, but he's not even mining from it.
Yeah, he's really trying to buy as much time as he possibly can. He's got to be a little bit careful because the Mutalisks actually do add a little bit of bite to this army, because as you said, he doesn't have a lot of gas at his disposal, but to go back on those 4 Stalkers, I mean, their death in alerting Hero to the fact that he is now facing Mutalisk is almost worth the cost alone. Never mind the fact they killed 6 drones. Just beautiful play by him.
Oh gosh, Kane has done a great job zoning. I mean, if you just look from Kane's vision, he scooped right, scooped left, made sure it's all clear, gone to Watchtower 1, now to Watchtower 2. We see Hero desperately trying to add on 2 Stargates, but he's so low on gas because he delayed everything with that early DT push, and now Kane's going to walk in, he sees what's up.
Yeah. And he doesn't like what he sees. He's going to back away. He's actually keeping his Mutalisk with his army, not doing a lot in terms of base harass. I feel like that's kind of that tunnel vision off the 3 bases that have, again, suffered more economic damage. I feel like he's in this kind of like all-in mode, even now having 4 drones there. Nope, you guys got to get out of here and get to work. But Hero has bought himself time, Day9. As you pointed out, there's already Phoenix coming out, and not a single drone, or excuse me, probe was lost due to any kind of Mutalisk harass.
Yeah, I mean, Hero's doing the smart response, an extreme one. He moved forward, moved back, and in the meantime, not only 2 Stargates and the upgrade, but also 3 cannons in the main, 4, 5 cannons, just a lot of cannons in the 3rd.
You know what I actually really like too? I'm gonna make sure I'm not being an idiot. I don't think there's a fleet beacon out here, and that's actually super savvy, because a lot of times you can be like, oh no, Mutalisk, and you go fleet beacon, you go +1 air attack, you make 19 Phoenix, and then all of a sudden they stop making him at 10 Mutalisk. So he's waiting to confirm that he's facing a prolonged Mutalisk attack, and I guarantee you once he figures that out, as he has now, there goes the fleet beacon. But I really like this patient play from Hero.
Oh, that's actually a great point. And he's realizing, well, okay, I don't really need a lot of Guardian Shield. I just need maybe 1 or 2 because, I mean, hell, Zerg's never even going to want to engage directly with the Mutalisks. So I'm going to spend all that extra energy on hallucination, scout the flanks, build up Phoenixes. And, you know, soon enough, even if Kane begins adding in Corruptors, Hero can still deal with it comfortably well with that lead in the air weapons.
Yeah, he's already got a good base. As you said, Sean, you're some kind of weird StarCraft 2 prophet. There are the Corruptors now coming out to be added to this Mutalisk count, but if I'm Hero, already on 3 bases, already with a healthy base of Phoenix and untouched economy, I think those Corruptors aren't really that scary to me. I just go ahead, maybe add a 3rd Stargate if I want to be super safe, but otherwise to just Chrono Boost out more Phoenix.
Well, there's the range upgrade for Phoenix's incoming, so it's going to be a lot of tough micro because there's 27 Mutalisks. Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, Phoenixes are just slightly faster than the Mutalisks, but if the Phoenixes are heading forward and you run into the Mutalisks, even if you do a sharp turnaround, you're going to lose a ton of Phoenixes. It's really the range that gives the Phoenixes the edge.
You're absolutely right. And I would also say their ability to attack and move, they become like that, I'm going to capitalize on a bad situation thing, where if the Mutalisks get out of position or the Corruptors are under fire from Stalkers and Archons and that kind of a thing, all of a sudden the Phoenix make you look like a complete idiot. You're like, oh no, I was never supposed to be here.
Oh gosh, yeah, I mean, that's so true. They can punish mistakes brutally, and it looks like Kane's starting to realize he's got to make some use out of these roaches. He's going to run headlong into a pack of Zealots at the natural. He doesn't yet get the opportunity to pick off the 4th, and there's a big engagement in mid, and it looks like a couple Mutalisks evaporate immediately.
Yeah, they do. They do get off 1 volley, and as you stated, a Phoenix does die, but so far, Hero is controlling this beautifully. Overseers will go down. The Corruptors have a tougher time running away, which means they're going to take extra damage, and I think Hero's on the warpath.
Hero is just driving forward. He's not even slowing down. The Mutalisk count has plummeted 27 down to 7. Corruptors are starting to fall swiftly, too. I mean, Kane, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's going to have to figure out exactly how he wants to pick off this battle because Hero is just storming forward. Oh, my God. Hero has played this off amazingly. Counterattacked by Kane at the 3rd base to try to pick it off, but Hero's warping in there, too, pulling back his whole army. He does have to cancel it, but he's going to be able to rebuild it real shortly.
Getting the Stalkers here is nice. Canceling the Nexus, like you said, is nice. I think my problem is that everything leading up to that was a huge chunk of Mutalisk dying, and for almost no return at all, right? Like, Hero's army got better. He's now starting to bank money, whereas Kane, was just losing units, and not off like 7 bases, but only 4.
Well, it looks like a couple Phoenixes fall, but all of a sudden the Phoenix count is way ahead of the Mutalisk count. Mulican production, more Mutas and Corruptors still being added on, so Hero's investment into these Phoenixes is going to be excellent. The armor upgrade, non-existent for Kane. Hero just continues to micro back and forth, back and forth. Now Zerglings try to swing around, but that one single Hero Colossus,
wow,
up to almost 30 kills.
I mean, this should be it. I think Kane's realizing the writing's on the wall. His Corruptors are going down. He's doing some damage to the ground army. I actually feel like I'm getting... nope, I'm not ahead of myself. I was like, wait a second, but those Corruptors will end up dying, and Kane's going to have a tough time replenishing it. 4th base does go down for Hero in the background with 4 cannons to anchor it. I feel like that Nexus will complete.
Oh gosh, Hero's just in amazing shape, and oh my god, he realizes the Mutalisk, hey, I think they're down to 0. He goes into the main GG. Hero ties the series up for Liquid.
And Kane does tap out. I feel like actually the story of the game for me was how good Hero's army control was. I mean, as we watch it, I feel like a lot of people are like, wow, those Phoenix are super good against Mutalisk. And yes, they are. I don't think people would necessarily argue the contrary. But with good army control, they really look like that. I mean, I feel like if those Mutalisk are getting any volleys off, if the Corruptors are connecting with more hits, but more importantly, if Hero's army isn't working in full unison, this looks like a different game.
Yeah, but I mean, Hero, I just can't believe how, no matter how crazy the situation or unusual or unorthodox, he always knows how to wiggle his way into an advantageous position. I mean, doing that initial warp in, the DT's not doing a lot of damage, being low on gas, and then the Mutalisk surprising him, no problem. Hero did the perfect response, so he definitely a deserved win. That's
a really good point. I mean, so often, I mean, I know I do this on a daily basis, but I'm like, Mutalisk, and it's like as they're approaching my mineral line and coming in. But in this game, it was never a question. Hero knew about it on his opponent's half the map, and he even had the bravado to be like, yeah, okay, there's Mutalisk out there. I think I'll buy more time by having my army like aggro the attention in the middle of the map. And then as he goes home, he does only what Hero could do, which is to grab 4 stalkers and say, go, be awesome, while the rest of my army is still getting controlled perfectly. Like, who the hell does that, man?
Well, I mean, the fortunate thing for Liquid is that they didn't suffer 2 losses in a row.
Right.
Because coming up in game number 3, Yu-Gi-Oh!, who is considered to be probably one of the best players en route. Probably Yu-Gi-Oh! And Sage are tied for that title. Going up against Xenio, a beast in ZVZ, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Has been looking so good lately.
And you nailed it. It's going to be a test because Xenio, while he's a little bit of one of the more quiet members of Team Liquid, if there ever was a matchup that guy makes noise in, it is ZVZ. So we're really excited about that. Ladies and gentlemen, give yourself a break. Go grab yourself a drink. We're going to be right back after this quick commercial break. See you soon.